Issue 171. We start out on Christmas Day in Emerald Hill, and much like with the last time we had a New Year's Day story, this is actually going to be an important story rather than just filler. Eggman randomly decides to destroy Mobius instead of ruling it, which is totally out of character for him when he hasn't even had a breakdown to justify it. When I was first reading this comic, this came completely out of nowhere to me, but in retrospect, it was foreshadowed by when Grimer was optimistic about them ruling the world again. Eggman just said, "Grimer, shut it." And he was being all quiet and bitter about that. And he seemed to actually react to being told that he was his own worst enemy because he was evil. And before that, he had this huge hope spot that he was going to become the ruler of Mobius again with the Shanazar Mobius fusing plan. But that failed. And that was after a long time of planning from Flicky's Island kind of ineffectively. I guess it makes sense that would be the last straw and would break him. But it didn't come across naturally at all because he never really talks about it, about how he feels about the situation, because the stories are artificially forced to be really short. After Eggman decides to destroy Mobius out of spite, the Plax aliens from the Microverse show up, calling him the Great Destroyer their legends speak of. Eggman threatens to kill them with his ray gun since he assumes they're allies of Sonic out of nowhere, and predictably the evil aliens want to team up with him to try to exterminate all life on Mobius. Why though? What could they possibly have to gain from that? Were they made a long time ago by an insane Gerald Robotnik? I guess they want to make way for their species to take over the world. Kintopor warns Sonic and Tekno about a serious disruption in the energy patterns in Mobius. He screams and something happens, and they run outside with Tekno saying that there's evil in the air. The Christmas tree falls over and threatens to crush the civilians. Tekno explains that the tree fell over because it died of a virus, and she warns him that everything's crumbling and dying. This is some Christmas special. I guess everything will be back to normal next issue because it's all a dream or something, right? Because the holiday specials, they're never allowed to be important, right? Then Sonic gets threatened by a giant snowman who starts throwing ice at him. He does a spin attack through it, and Tekno says she's not so sure he beat him, and she's right, with the monster getting up beneath them because he's the snow beneath their feet. Makes sense, makes sense. Tekno explains that the snowman's made of millions of nanobots. Oh, so Eggman uses them in Fleetway too. Amy reasons that he's just using the snowman as a disguise to give him an advantage in the snow. Sonic tells Tails to distract him, and cocoons the enemy in a speed cyclone. But then he gets sent flying away from him while electricity surrounds the robot. However, this saves the day as Tekno explains that Sonic's speed cocoon diverted the electrical storm going on towards the snowman in a Chekhov's gun, which Sonic tries to pretend he did on purpose, and Amy is smart enough to see right through it while Tekno isn't. Shouldn't it be the reverse? Isn't Amy supposed to be delusionally in love with Sonic and so she would buy it while Tekno is smart and wouldn't? Sonic says the planet's ecosystem is collapsing, and Shorefuse shows up. Sonic tells Tails to stay here and look after the citizens, making a lame excuse to ditch him that he's not called out on, and the story ends with him and his friends planning to go after Eggman to continue the story arc. This story was by Lou Stringer. You'd think that Eggman releasing a nanobot virus that causes life to crumble would very quickly destroy Mobius before the heroes would have a chance to stop him. Not to mention the fact that Eggman trying to destroy Mobius rather than rule it seems extremely out of character for him, and it's not said that he snapped from not being its ruler for so long. I guess he was able to create it in the first place by teaming up with those plastic aliens. Sonic's speed cyclone uses the electrical storm as a Chekhov's gun to electrocute the nanobots to death in their snowman form, which was entirely unintentional, but surprisingly for a Christmas episode, the story will continue on in a story arc with a huge threat from the villain going on. It took place on Christmas, but it really didn't matter. Eggman's plan suits an industrialist strawman who hates all nature, so it suits Robotnik, but not Eggman, the actual character who wants to rule Mobius, not destroy it. Even Robotnik and Archie just wanted to destroy people with his ultimate annihilator, not plant life. And he had Robians to rule over anyway, so he wasn't going to be missing out on anything.